queen without a throne. You threw in your lot with Persephone. Finished Act 1. Act 2.
Hey, Freddy. Have you been waiting up this whole time?
Yeah? A goat man sends you off into the night. Your life is on the line. And I'm gonna, what, sleep? What if you were taken prisoner, kept in a cave by a cyclops, or I don't know, turned into a tree? I was worried sick.
You were worried about me? Aw.
Well, you're my best friend in the whole world, Grace. Plus, you know, what would the band do?
Right, the band. Where are Kaz and Brian anyway?
I told them you were fine, which isn't a lie, because technically you are. Now tell me everything that happened. Huh. Persephone runs a club called the Underworld. That's a little on the nose.
I wouldn't suggest saying that to her face.
And you ended up staying with her instead of Apollo? I don't know, Grace. She sounds a little volatile.
She has her reasons. I just hope I don't end up on her bad side again.
You get on everyone's bad side, Grace.
Thanks, Fred.
So what are your options? You need to go back to Persephone at some point?
I could go back to Apollo's as well. Make sure he's not sore about what happened.
Oh, and, there's this. Pan left a card, says, "Come by Olympus." I doubt he means the mountain in Greece.
Huh. I wonder what he wants.
Probably to cash in his precious favor.
Still not a fan?
You know how some people just set your teeth on edge? That's Pan. I can't help it. But it doesn't matter. I said I'd help, and that's what I'll do. You can count on me, Grace.
Thanks, Freddy.
The muse? Oh, the embodiment of inspiration. Can you believe it?
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, I guess there's... Oh man, we got multiple places we can go. Okay, so... Fascinating. I wonder if this is a choice or if this is like places to like that I'll be going throughout day 2. Okay. I'll be right back. So what new entries do we got? Freddy. And of course, Freddy was waiting up when I got back from the underworld. She apologized for how things went down with Pan during the song, but honestly, I get it now. My power draws the good and bad out of people. And I don't always get to choose which it will be. At any rate, it's good that I have Freddy at my side during all of this. Let's see. Apparently, after years of arguing with the idols and making everyone angry, Calliope finally left Olympus. And that's when she became friends with Persephone, who gave her the apartment. However, Persephone says they haven't spoken in 2 years, so she doesn't know what Calliope's been doing lately either. I ran into none other than Hermes in the underworld. I'm pretty sure they didn't follow me there. They were just vibing. You know, for an idol, they don't seem that bad. Would you believe Hermes has only been an idol for a year or so? They talk a lot about old Hermes. So I guess they must have gone through something like me. They were there when the old Hermes died, and his eidolon passed on to them. How often does that happen, I wonder? Doesn't seem to happen all that often. They answered one question at least, about how they showed up at the apartment so quickly. Apparently, when an idol dies, Hermes has to be there. Whoever Hermes is at the time, I guess. They were kind of close-mouthed about it, but they just know. A strange story, but what else is new? Hermes helped me find Persephone. Either she didn't know I was there, or she was avoiding me. That place is huge. After I pumped them up a bit, they're, not the most self-confident sort. Wow, seeing Apollo and Persephone biting each other's head off was really eye-opening. Do all the idols hold grudges against each other like this? If so, it's no wonder one of them got murdered. Apollo brought me to see Persephone. But who do you think almost tanked the entire thing? That's right, he did. He got all big and angry, like he was about to start hurling thunderbolts, and stormed out of the underworld like an angry child. I still can't believe it. Yeah, I feel for both of them, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm just barely on Team Persephone out of the two of them. Just barely. Persephone left when I asked if Athena might be a suspect, like the suggestion was ridiculous. Athena's entire existence is based on protecting the idols, and apparently she'd never break her own rules. She sounds so fun. Apollo gave me a lowdown on Persephone. Apparently, the whole story about how she was kidnapped by Hades, Lord of the Underworld, is more or less true. She made Persephone his bride against her will. And the other idols did squat to stop it. Did squat to stop it. What the stories don't mention is how she later killed Hades and took his throne, only to have that throne taken away by the other idols as punishment for the murder. Persephone's pretty mad about it still, and honestly, who wouldn't be? Things got ugly between Apollo and Persephone pretty quickly, until Apollo stormed out and let him go. And I let him go. I mean, sure, 2 minutes before Persephone wanted my head on a platter, but now she was willing to help. Isn't this what brought me here for? Isn't this what he brought me here for? So she's my new ally now, I suppose. She says that if an idol is really behind Calliope's death and was able to cover up their involvement, finding them might be difficult, which, great. Okay. I do think that, there's a lot of room for Persephone to have motive if she was angry at something that Calliope did and, she was pretending to be Calliope's friend, is definitely open and a possibility. If Calliope was involved in the kidnapping, or if she just never forgave her for not doing anything to help. Persephone holds, that was a long time ago, but Persephone does hold grudges for a long time. It's not out of the question still that she could be the murderer, but just seeing her reactions to things, it doesn't feel right. Yeah, and I'm not just going to look at the facts. I don't know, maybe I'm just naive, but that's where I'm at right now. Actually ran into Pan at the underworld, just by coincidence, or so he says, hanging around in the very place his tip eventually led me to. Granted, the underworld is his kind of place, but what are the odds? Neither Apollo nor Persephone seem to consider Pan much of a suspect. He's not a murderer, according to them, even though his sudden involvement is really suspicious. Alright, I'm going to start off with Persephone just in case it's a choice. But I do want to talk to Apollo. I don't care about... I don't know. Pan's suspicious. But he seems to want to help, but he's suspicious.
Oh, back already, are you? It's just as well. I've asked around, called in some favors, just enough to get an idea of what all the idols are currently up to. Much as I'm loath to admit it, I'm back to thinking Pan may be our prime suspect after all.
You should know. Pan asked me to meet him at Olympus. I'm not sure why.
Oh, that's interesting. Did he happen to say what he wanted?
No. He probably wants to cash in his favor.
Huh. That's what he does. Collect favors and then use them to gather even more favors. To what end, I dare not guess.
Should I not go see him then? If he's our best suspect...
No. Go see what he wants. It'll provide insight into his plans, if nothing else.
Just throw caution to the wind, huh?
Somehow you'll manage. I want to send you to a party, Grace. One Aphrodite is holding. She and Eros know Pan perhaps better than anyone. If you go, it'll give you a chance to find out what he's really up to.
Why a party? Couldn't I just go wherever she lives and ask her?
You could, but if you go to this party, she'll be grateful. She holds it from time to time and always asked Calliope to attend, but Calliope never would. You can put two and two together. A grateful Aphrodite might be willing to tell you what Pan is really up to.
I still have that invitation from Pan. Maybe it'd be easier if I just went to see him.
You should do both. Just don't believe a single word coming out of his mouth.
I could always beat the truth out of him.
Careful. He's bound to enjoy that.
You know Aphrodite better than I do. Can't you talk to her?
She and I don't get along.
Yeah, I probably should have known
Like how you and Apollo don't get along?
Even more intensely than that. I once said some things about her husband. They were true, but unwelcome.
Okay.
Suffice it to say, if I showed up at Aphrodite's party, revealing Pan's secrets would be the last thing on her mind.
One wild party with the goddess of love coming up.
It's less of a wild party and more of a somber affair.
You mean like a cocktail party?
Let me put it this way. Apollo will likely be there.
Gotcha. Expectations of fun downgraded considerably. I'll let you know what I find.
Okay. I should probably talk to Apollo before going to the party.
Grace,
Yeah, told you she'd be back.
what are you doing here? When you stayed with Persephone, I thought that... Well, I didn't expect to see you again.
Just go, you were a jerk.
Why? Just because I think Persephone can help me, we can't still be friends?
Is that what we are, Grace? Friends?
You helped me. You brought me to Persephone. I'd say that qualifies.
I'm not sure I've helped you. All I've done is dropped you in Persephone's lap.
What, and that's bad?
Yes. Well, no. I can never be objective when it comes to my family. They bring out the worst in me. It's why I avoid them whenever possible, and why I should have resisted getting dragged into all this.
Oh no, you're not squirming out of this that easily. You said you'd help. Just because you blew up at Persephone doesn't mean you get to walk away from this.
When we met, I said I would just make things worse. And I was right.
You haven't. Even if you had, isn't now the time to fix it?
Goodbye, Grace. I hope you find what you're looking for.
Oh, that didn't go well. I feel like arming myself before going to see Pan is a good idea.
Fancy party? Check. Bunch of strangers? Check. Grace totally not dressed for the occasion? Check. Now, if only I knew what I was supposed to be doing here.
Grace? You're here.
Yeah, I'm invited, aren't I?
I'm just surprised you even knew it was happening.
Persephone said I should come to this. Whatever this is.
Persephone didn't tell you? Why am I not surprised?
What? That doesn't sound
I
good.
don't like the sound of that. What am I missing?
You don't have any of Calliope's memories, right? No déjà vu recollections that aren't your own?
Like,
No.
did you?
Should I have?
Not right away. For a while, you won't remember anything. We call it the veil. In time, the veil will start to lift, slowly at first, but eventually you'll remember almost everything Calliope did.
Huh.
Seems like the sort of thing you should tell a new idol.
Yeah.
New idols are usually chosen. You would know about this already, except...
Except Calliope was murdered.
Well, remember how old we all are. There are so many memories. So the veil lifts gradually to protect you. Eventually, it's like a flood. It becomes difficult to separate what's you and what's them, and all who came before them.
You're saying I won't be me. I won't be Grace. Will I start calling myself Calliope?
Maybe. Eventually, most of us do, but most of us were chosen and prepared.
And I didn't choose this.
I understand. Take some time to let it sink in. If you like, we can talk about it later.
What does this have to do with the party?
Aphrodite hasn't been the same since we came to the New World. She has horrific memories of what she endured during the war. Passing on her eidolon is a way to forget, for a while. That's what this party is for.
Huh?
When you say she's gonna pass on her eidolon, you mean...
She's going to die, yes, and pass her soul on to a chosen successor.
in front of everyone?
We're here to help, Grace. To make it easier for Aphrodite to do what she feels she must. We're here to say goodbye. At least for a while.
Huh.
Do you support what Aphrodite is doing here?
It's not my choice to make, Grace.
Yeah, but you must have an opinion.
Eventually you will remember what we experienced during the war. And eventually you will remember that what Aphrodite experienced was far worse. If this is the mercy she requires, I will not tell her she should not take it.
I don't know, Apollo. I don't like the whole idea.
You want her help, don't you?
Yes, but...
At least speak with Aphrodite before you make a final decision. She's not here just yet. Until she arrives, I suggest mingling.
Mingling.
Yeah, mingling. Talk to Eros. Or we can talk more if you like. Just try to relax, Grace.
Sure, yeah. Relax. That's what this party is for, right?
Grace!
Hey, Eros. Nice to...
What?
Oh. Okay.
Aphrodite will be so happy you're here. It means so much you have no idea.
Is Grace the real reason?
Are you okay? You seem a bit...
Every time she does this, I don't know how to handle it. I almost want to run upstairs and demand she stop. Remind her that this never works. Sorry, I shouldn't unload on you. It's been a bad week.
I have to be honest, Eros. I'm not a fan of what's supposed to happen here.
I know exactly what you mean. Every time, Aphrodite forgets. At least for a while. But I don't. I remember everything. I'm there for the nightmares, the panic attacks, the days she doesn't even remember the war's over. And now I'm arranging her gathering again, so she can die again. And I'll watch it all again.
Is it okay if I ask what happened? I don't mean to pry, but I'm new. I really don't know.
I know, but it happened to Aphrodite, not me. It's not my story to tell.
That's fair. It's really not my business.
No, it is. I mean, it's not, but she does want you here. So you need to know. What happened is that Brother Ares happened. He missed out on the first world-spanning war, you see, so he was damned if he'd miss out on the next one. He found some jackbooted mortals, so full of themselves and their supremacy, and he told them about the idols. Then they came for us. Took us completely by surprise. Some they killed, but Aphrodite, her they captured.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Aphrodite was captured, but she's here now. So she must have escaped.
She didn't. Do you know the name Hephaestus?
No. Should I?
God of smiths. He could make anything, any tool or weapon. He was Aphrodite's husband, and he adored her. When he found out the mortals were torturing her, he went mad. He was determined to save her.
They tortured her?
Nothing extreme, I'm told. They were too frightened, but they were also determined to wring every last secret out of her. So, who knows how long that fear would have lasted. Thus, Hephaestus made a deal.
With the, jackbooted guys.
No, with their enemies. That's what saved her.
Then this deal is how Aphrodite survived.
It's how we all survived. It's what brought us to the new world. Hephaestus saved us all. We never saw him again. That was the deal. He would leave, make their precious weapons, and never look back. Aphrodite never even got to say goodbye. It's funny, because Aphrodite didn't even like Hephaestus when they were married. She seemed to resent every minute they were together. But now he's all she can think about.
And Hephaestus never came back. Which means maybe he's still working with... I don't know, I'm a little confused.
Is there no other way? Does Aphrodite really need to...
To die? I've asked that so many times. She's tried magic, drugs, psychotherapy, meditation, everything we could possibly think of. For a while, she'll deny anything's wrong. It all seems fine, and I start to hope. Maybe this time will be different. Then the nightmares begin, and the memories return. More with each passing day until... I hate it, but I see her agony. I can't deny her this.
Maybe I just don't understand, but... Isn't this... like suicide?
Some of the idols have committed suicide. They let themselves die without passing on their eidolon.
What happens?
What you'd expect. They're gone. Forever. Mother says she can't do that. She won't. Not until she sees Hephaestus again, I suspect. Not that what's happening here is anything casual. She still has to die. For a while.
You sound like you don't approve of what Aphrodite's doing.
What I want is for her to not hurt anymore. What I want is for this to end. She'll ask you to use your power as part of the celebration. Could you use it to inspire her?
I can't force anyone to do anything they don't want to, Eros.
That's not what I'm asking. I believe that deep down, she doesn't want to do this any longer. She must see it isn't working. She just needs the strength to try. Or I hope that's all she needs.
I'll try, if you think it'll do some good.
I don't know if it will. I just find it hard to believe it could get any worse.
Famous last words.
Tell me about it. Do whatever you think is right, Grace. And thank you.
I know all these people, Grace. For as long as I can remember, I've known them. Yet sometimes I feel like I don't know any of them at all. Or they me.
You don't enjoy these family gatherings, do you?
Are they family gatherings? Like the sort mortals have?
You call each other sister and brother and mother.
Well, yes, but...
And you've been together like 100 times longer than I lived with my family. All you're missing is a drunk uncle everyone has to apologize for.
That would be Pan. But yes, I feel very much out of place.
Why come at all? You don't have to see other idols, do you?
Well, there's the chorus, and we're not allowed to leave the city. Other than that, avoiding everyone was the plan. Until a certain someone made me sing.
I spoke to Eros. He's pretty broken up over all this.
Oh, poor Eros. Each new successor, his hopes rise up once more. And then he watches the new Aphrodite crumble, piece by piece, only to start all over again. It's so different from the olden days. Once he was the eternal disaster, and Aphrodite kept constant vigil over him.
Maybe he feels like he owes her.
I think he's followed her into a dark void, and somewhere, deep down, believes he deserves no better.
I should get back out there.
My family. Having you all here, gathered once again to see me off, it moves me. More than I can say. My loves, my darlings, my dearest friends. And you. Oh, my dear sweet thing. I dare not hope that you, with all your troubles, might sing me to my sleep. Yet here you are. Yet here she is. Huh.
All you needed to do was ask.
I meant no slight, dear one. I only wanted to relieve you of the burden of expectation considering the task you've been given. But you're here now. Oh, it's so sad what happened to Calliope. Please say you'll forgive my oversight.
Is this Grace, my lady? The new muse?
Oh, what manners I have. Grace, Grace, meet the lovely mortal woman who shall tonight become the new me.
Hi, my name's Venus, and yes, it really is Venus. Nice to meet you, Grace.
Yeah, hi. Nice to meet you.
We'll both be new at this, huh? Maybe we could get together and compare notes if you,
Survived my trial?
Yeah. Lady Aphrodite told me. I shouldn't have brought that up. I'm sorry.
There will be so much time for you lovelies to speak later. Now, we must prepare for my departure.
So there's the question hanging around now. It's like, if it's not really death, and this will give, was it Venus, the chance to, you know, walk again and sort of live more freely. I don't know. It still feels like a death of who she is right now. I think if I get the choice at some point, I would choose both of them having a life. But first...
Are you sure we can't talk first? I really need your help, Aphrodite.
I know you do, my dear. I wish I could be there for you, but I'm afraid my time is up. But since you've shown such kindness in coming, I will ask Eros to make himself available to you afterwards. There's nothing I know that he does not. He is my son, my truest friend, my longest love.
Won't he be... a little distracted?
Eros has been through this before, Grace. He knows what must be done.
Yeah, that's that notion.
I was hoping I could talk you out of it, actually.
Oh!
Forgive my saying so, but you seem fine.
Yes, it might seem that way. Well, tell me, Grace, why should I let you try to talk me out of this,
You must know this isn't working. How many times have you done this? Has it gotten any better?
Better? I do not remember what better feels like. I remember many things. I remember virtue, heroism, even love. All of it eclipsed by the memories of pain. But tonight is not about becoming better. It's about respite from the pain. And honoring the memory of what was. Go, enjoy the gathering, Grace. Tell me when you're ready to begin.
Back again.
I don't think I'll have a chance to talk to Aphrodite. Not before, you know.
Not surprising. Surely Persephone must have realized that.
How? She's never been to one of these things. Anyway, I'm not sure what I'd do now.
You have two choices, Grace. Either you do as she asks and sing her to her rest,
At which point Venus won't have Aphrodite's memories yet.
or you somehow convince her to remain with us and hope she's grateful.
And doesn't regret it. Or get angry at me for ruining her party.
Do what you feel is right. It's a risk either way.
I should get back out there.
I want to apologize again, Grace. I really messed up. It looks like I'll be doing that a lot. Lady Aphrodite said I'm ready, but I don't know.
Messed up?
Being a god isn't something you can really be ready for.
I mean, you are not gods, though. Are you? Not really.
You don't think so?
To me, you all just seem like people. Special people, sure, but flawed and lost, like the rest of us.
Lower
If I can ask, what does it feel like after it happens? Do you feel different?
I was so scared at the time, I didn't know what to think. I had no idea who Calliope really was.
You didn't remember anything? About her? Who she was? She was just gone?
Yeah. Isn't that the point of all this?
I just wanted to be sure. Sometimes it doesn't seem like it could be real.
How do you know Aphrodite exactly?
So I was working at this homeless shelter, right? A couple of years ago, and she came in with one of the older residents. And she was there in this, like, amazing dress. And she's sitting with this guy and really listening to him. Like, they were old friends or something. I just thought, what is someone like her doing in a place like this? So, I just went over and introduced myself.
That's it? Just like that.
Yeah. She came back to the shelter a few times, but by then, I guess she's taken an interest in me instead.
Are you really okay with all this? You know what's gonna happen, right?
I saw a lot of people in crisis at the shelter. I knew something was wrong with Lady Aphrodite. She's in so much pain, Grace. She won't let you see how much. Eros called me one night desperate. She wouldn't stop screaming. She didn't know where she was. She's a good person, Grace. A good soul. She deserves mercy.
But don't you feel this is wrong? I mean, you're ending your life. It's like some kind of murder-suicide pact.
I don't think of it like that. Lady Aphrodite is not committing suicide, and I'm not being murdered.
Aren't you? Your life is ending. It's being taken over, swallowed up by Aphrodite's grief.
I'm becoming part of something bigger. Something amazing. Or maybe you're right. It'll be terrible, and I'll end up in so much pain I'll regret it.
So why go through with it?
Because Lady Aphrodite needs me. Maybe, just maybe, if I'm added into the mix of all the people she's been, maybe things will be different.
I mean, maybe. That's a big maybe, though.
Back again.
Have you spoken with Venus? She seems really...
Nice, earnest, a genuinely good person.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's not an accident. Ever since the war, Aphrodite has sought out the kindest, the most innocent souls to be her successors. She chooses them because she believes that over time, it might make her a better person. A more worthy person.
Wouldn't it be better if she chose people who were, I don't know, more resilient?
I suppose that depends on your definition of strength, Grace.
She seems resilient.
I should get back out there.
I have tried so hard, fought for so long, but in the end, I must bid you all farewell once again. But before I go, I would like us all to remember the sacrifices that brought us here to this strange new world. This time, it is with the help of our lovely muse that we shall be guided. We let them rise. We let it happen. We waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong. We were wrong. Since the beginning we were hidden. We held court from up above. 'Twas the golden age of reason, and I the queen of love. But a plague of hate was spreading, and there were vultures standing by. Before we fell to our knees begging, we fell from the sky. We let them rise, we let it happen. We waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong. We were wrong. We sought shelter from the shadows, but were soon ripped from the dark. Those mortal souls that ended us were jealous from the start. They hunted me for power to fuel their psychopathic cause. And once they fell before me and worshipped all I was, they chased me down and threw me in a cage, held me prisoner for so long. I thought I'd win their hearts again. I was wrong. I was wrong. Oh, the power of the idols pounds within your chest. But for now I am in mourning for a love gone unexpressed. He was harder than the chisel. I was a horrid block of ice. A winter's chill that stayed until he made his sacrifice. The man that I ignored saved me when I fell. Yes, the husband I abhorred rescued me from hell. I thought it was a joke when it was said to me. He struck a deal with our enemy's enemy, made a secret weapon so my captors let me go. He gave up his freedom, leaving just a memory, and this love I'll never know is what he gave to me.
I can can see everything. It's interesting why you feel so blue. Because of the horror show from long ago. There ain't no getting through. A husband who sacrificed and paid the price for you to be free. Wherever he is right now, you'd think somehow that...
Excuse me.
Sorry, I'm on a roll. I don't pretend to know the mind of a god. That's something I never thought I'd say. I'm not the only one here who wants to know. Is leaving now the only way to go?
I'm confused. Who are you? Thank you for sharing, little one. You're 80 years overdue. Now take your seat, you've had your fun. I think you'll find I'm a god. Making note of the staggering lack of help. And so no matter what you think you know, this ceremony is the only way to go.
Don't you write anything down. Is there a statue of Hephaestus in town? Or is history just a record that slowly gathers dust? You gotta turn it up loud so the player doesn't rust. Because I find the story so unique. I'll sing in plain speak. Your rest leaves the rest of your family stressed and depressed. They repress, so will only digress. I'm impressed by the sense of occasion, I guess. But this mess of a quest to possess is grotesque. It's happened to me, and I'll never know when calliope inside of me surfaces. So I request that your guests reassess the process. And unless you address all this godly excess, we'll continue to guess while you repossess. And I won't acquiesce till a change manifests. I'm out. Sometimes taking a breath's the only way to go. Considering the options left, it's the only way to go. What is the only way to go?
So much
I don't know what to do.
in silence,
It's
it's
onto you.
timeless, it's precious sympathy. Can
know
we,
anything,
all
a
honestly,
smattering,
modestly take a seat and breathe? 'Cause you're that kind of a god. Prepare the girl for precious cargo. Just mad about their tragic puppet show. As my memory erases, so will all your faces. Oblivion's the only way to go. The only way to go.
Are you...
I'm fine. I'm still myself. I thought there'd be something more, that I feel her presence, but she's just... gone.
She'll be back. But she'll also be you. She'll be... different.
I'll try to be ready. I promise.
I'll help if I can. If I'm still, you know.
I would really like that, Grace.
I honestly hope you get the chance. The fact that you came, it meant so much to her. And to me. Before we go, Aphrodite told me you wanted her help to learn about Calliope's death. I'm not my mother, but maybe there's something I can tell you. Do you have any suspects yet?
I was, thinking maybe Pan.
Pan? He's a lot of things, but a murderer.
He showed up at my apartment right after I left Athena's office. He's very suspicious.
He is, I'll give you that. I'll never forgive him for Cupid.
You know, there is a far more obvious suspect.
Who?
You're thinking of Medusa, aren't you?
Okay, I'll bite. Why would this Medusa be involved? And why isn't she a suspect?
She wasn't implicated in Calliope's death, no, but Mother always distrusted her.
Medusa works for Athena as, well, as a watcher. That's how Lady Aphrodite described it.
Mother always complained there was something wrong about Medusa, that she would be trouble eventually. Athena disagreed.
If you're gonna start looking into anyone, Grace, start with her.
Come now, Venus. It's been a long night. I'll get you home.
Thank you for everything, Grace. Truly. It was a wonderful song.
Grace spitting fire towards the end of that.
So, did they have anything helpful?
Maybe? What do you know about Medusa?
Medusa? That's a rather dark name to unearth. Are you thinking of seeking her out?
I am. Do you know where she is?
Not really, no. Medusa makes it her business to stay out of sight. Athena employs her as a spy master, a hound to do her bidding, a vicious hound at that. Athena's not likely to tell either of us where to find Medusa. I can't say for certain who would know. Are you all right, Grace? You seem troubled.
What Aphrodite went through, it's a lot.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about the life of an immortal. It never ends.
Wow. Way to really sell it, Apollo.
How are things with Persephone? Is she helping as much as you thought?
Yeah, I kind of like her. Way more than I thought I would. Why?
All I mean to ask is, has she said anything?
About...
No. Never mind. It's none of my business. Please forget I asked. Give my regards to Persephone when you see her.
I'm really hoping, like, I didn't actually check the video on this.
Apollo. Always so dramatic. Well done, by the way. And cheers to you, Aphrodite. You shall be missed. For a few years, at least.
I still don't know if I did the right thing.
Well, it was never up to you, Grace. The choice has always been Aphrodite's. She's been in hell since the war. And you were only a visitor. I remember the last time I passed on my Eidolon. 1952. I was married to, well, I'd say you'd call him a gangster. More of a thug. A mean, vicious little thug. Persephone saved me from him. Tore his head clean off. But not before he fired a shotgun into her chest. My chest? Whatever.
Oh, well, that sounds awful.
It was. Though not as awful as being his wife. We all have our sordid history, our personal horrors, building up like sediment around our souls. You can't let it bury you, Grace. You are the only one who can keep your head afloat.
You're incredible. You know that?
There's no need to be facetious, Grace.
No, really.
I am incredible. It's true. It's good that you recognize this.
Okay, I take it back.
Oh, you can't take it back, Grace. I would have thought you'd learned that by now. After centuries of cruel injustice, everybody working against me, every idol but for one, violent with apathy. We couldn't reach a resolution, but you and I, I'm queen of the underworld, and you, Grace, you. Something seems familiar about you. Have we met some lifetime ago? Gods like me don't have too much to hope for. The rules been fixed throughout the ages. So I have forged a daring path. I would like to make some changes. You see, we can win a revolution, you and I. I'm queen of the underworld, and you, Grace, you're lost little girl. The first time we met, you called me that, and now I understand. Show it or not, I see your heart. You've got one big mouth on you, don't you? Yet it's me who's closing in. Think I like that mouth on you.
Oh dear.
Won't you? You've overstayed your welcome. Time to go home. Get out of here, Grace.
Okay.